I'm assured that someone backstage is monitoring Twitter, #Prometheus. Any questions for the panel? And without further ado, let's bring out some of the wonderful actors in the movie. Who do we have with us here today, Ridley?
We have Charlize and we have Damon. By the way, that's the first time they've seen anything of the film, is that right?
Michael, Charlize, WonderCon, Michael, Charlize. Everybody, if you see Michael later today, wish him a happy St. Patrick's Day. He is...
Happy St. Patrick's Day!
Yes. Can you guys talk a little bit about how you got involved in the movie? Obviously, you're just going through your lives and one day your phone rings. What was your entree into Prometheus?
We were exchanging emails. I was in Malaysia during monsoon season, and Ridley said, I think you're available, do you want to read this? You have 2 hours to read it, and then it will implode on itself. And I couldn't find any reception because it was monsoon. So I climbed onto a hilltop under a tarp and read it in 2 hours and said, I don't even think I finished it. I was like, of course, I'll do this. Are you kidding me?
And Michael, what about you?
Same thing, minus Malaysia and the monsoon. I was at home in my flat in London, and there was a man with a gun to my head, and I had 2 hours to read the script. I'm a slow reader, so I was sweating. It was, and I just it was, each page, there was something new and there was something unexplained. I mean, it was just really, you could never put your finger on anything. It's almost like a fish keeps slipping out of your hand. It was such an intelligent piece of writing, I thought, and then, of course, with the master at the helm, it was just, an amazing opportunity, and I'm so grateful. We had a lot of fun making it, and hopefully it's going to do you proud, all the fans out there, because, as I said, that's the first time I saw it. It looks pretty amazing.
I know Ridley and I have I just wanted to say Ridley and I, like we're friends. We've experienced a certain degree of, people asking us not just at events like these, but our friends and our family and our loved ones. What is this thing that you're working on? What is this? What is Prometheus? What do you say to them?
It's like the closest we're ever going to get to feeling like CIA spies, where you can't share with your loved ones what you're actually doing. I told them it was a romantic comedy. So they're going to be shocked.
You're just a guy looking for a girl to say I love you.
I'm just trying to find love in all the wrong places.
Ridley, can you tell us a little bit about what it was like working with not just these two, but the amazing ensemble? Obviously, I think we have to mention Noomi Rapace, who is awesome, Idris Elba, who is just incredible, Logan Marshall Green, who you guys have not really met yet, but is great. Can you talk a little bit about the cast of the movie?
Yeah, I mean, once the most difficult thing is set is the script, the story in the script. Thanks to this gentleman on the right.
Give him a hand!
Yeah.
We all know it will be my fault if the movie sucks, so thank you. Very well played.
And the next most important thing is who am I going to have to play all these wonderful parts. And so I spent a great deal of time thinking, and with, of course, a good casting director. But I've already got pretty good preconceptions of, who the main players are going to be. Therefore, I just hope that that's who I'm going to get, because I've done enough homework by that moment, and also I've watched them enough to think that what I'm looking for when I'm, going to work with an actor, actress, is that I've said this before. I rarely talk about the screenplay initially. I spend a couple of hours just talking to them as a person, and try to get them to open up and evolve themselves, because then I now know who they are as a person as best I can in the 2-hour process. Because I'm always looking for someone who actually is going to be a good partner with me in the process of making a movie, because that's how I like to do it. I like it, whatever I do, whenever I work in a film, I try to make it always an ensemble, because that way you get better work, you get interaction on and off camera, and it just makes for better performances.
Charlize, you are a movie star. I'm also gonna pretend like we're friends. When you get an opportunity to be in an ensemble like this, when you, as opposed to having to carry an entire movie on your own, is that a relief? How is that different?
Yeah, you know, I think even when you are if you are the lead, you can't think that way, because I think there's no room for that kind of thought. It kind of muddles what you were supposed to do, and I think can kind of throw you off the track that you need to stay on just in order to tell a good story. And I think when you start thinking about things that you can't really control, and I will say though, I love being around actors, and I think that's when I'm at my best. I think there was something about this cast that really was a driving force for me to want to do it. And yeah, everyone but Michael Fassbender was really great, I have to say.
Speaking of Michael Fassbender, you play we call him a cybernetic individual, an android.
I call him a robot.
A robot named David. What's it like to play a robot? So you're a human who's playing a robot who's pretending to be a human. Is that fun? Is it more complicated? Can you just talk about that a little bit?
Well, they kind of neutralize each other out, so in the end you just sort of play it straight. No, I mean the thing, you know, we discussed it, it wasn't like it was going to be a reveal of any sort. We were going to get the sort of, the fact that David is a robot is revealed early in the film. And then, you know, it was just again, the wonderful hints that Ridley sort of put my way before we started. He was like, take a look at The Servant, film with Dirk Bogarde, and various other things, and so you know, the idea that he was a butler type character, you know, that he's there to sort of service the aircraft and the crew on it. And you know, then I sort of thought, well, what sort of physicality I'm going to find there, and for some reason I thought of Greg Louganis. I don't know, early on I thought of this guy. I always remembered him when I was younger, and I sort of see him sort of, you know, just the way he walked before he sort of dived off the sort of diving board or high block or whatever, and I always thought there was something very funny about it to begin with, and also there was a real economy of movement, and I thought that would lend quite well to David. And then I just really wanted to have as much fun as possible with the character, and then also the question of like, okay, how much of a programming will start to program itself? So you have this robot who's supposed to respond and interact with human beings and be able to sort of understand human beings. Would that start to manifest itself in other forms? Would he start to develop his own personality traits, and ego, insecurities, all the fun human stuff? And then it was just a sort of about, you know, playing around with that really, and seeing sort of how much for the audience when they're watching him, they're like, is this guy taking the piss? Or is he for real? So that was kind of what we were playing with, I think.
Do robots piss? Does
They do, but only to make humans feel more comfortable around them.
Yes. Good answer.